Hi, I'm sure most of you are here from the voidritual series. What started off as quite possibly a meme turned into a story. Let me explain. One night, I decided to pick up a random item and sacrifice it into what seemed to be the void. I didn't think much of it, but I knew I had to do more. Didn't take long before the account got attention and grew a following. You see, I was not expecting this. I would always get suggestions of items thrown to the void, so I would take the suggestions and do them. I did this 100 times. 100 times before sacrificing myself as the final sacrifice. A lot of people saw this as the end of the account. A lot of people saw this as just the beginning. So what I did was turned it into a story. This is where it gets complicated. So I returned. But not back to where I originally was. No, I was in the void now, but I had yet to realize it. So there I am on my journey back home, or so I thought. But then I come across a familiar item. It's a ball. It's the first ball I sacrificed to the void. This confuses me, but I move on. I soon realize I'm stumbling across more and more items that I sacrificed. A tree. A damn tree that will become very important in this story. I decided to make this tree my new home due to the fact that no matter where I walked, no matter how far I traveled, it always seemed like an infinite stretch of grass. Everywhere. Pop-Tarts. Yes, Pop-Tarts. Stumbling upon this find was a horror disguised as a relief. I start to open the packet but see something slowly roaming in front of me. I don't get too good of a look before darting out. I return to the tree and call it a night, only to realize I left my backpack behind. My backpack was one of the items I sacrificed, and I had recently found it. I've fallen asleep now, but only to be awakened by something hitting me. It's my backpack. Chapter 2. A shed. I was dumb and decided to explore it, but something shuts the door and locks me in. I start to panic and force my way out. Now pay attention to the fact that something locked me in this shed. So things go on, and I continue to find items I had recently sacrificed. But now I stumble upon a mask. One almost identical to mine, but it has "Run" written on it. One of the more puzzling finds was an hourglass I had sacrificed. I found it, but it had been still running the sand. This confused me as well. I decided to return to the tree to make sense of this all, but there was just another mask hanging from my branch. I decide not to stay at the tree anymore. I start to wander off in hopes of finding a new campout, but I come across a bigger shed instead. This also has a mask on it, but I'm tempted to go inside, so I do. But what do I find? Myself. Or something that seemed to be imitating me. So I quickly run out of the shed, locking myself in. I don't question it and run away, but I can't get my mind off the fact that it was the only living thing I had interaction with since sacrificing myself to the void. So I go back. I unlock the shed and walk in to free myself, but this time there's another me behind me, and that me locks me and myself in the shed. There are now 3 me's. So me and myself break out of the shed, but to my surprise, he's no longer anywhere to be seen. This is weird. I have a theory at this point. The void has taken my memories and is now making me hallucinate my surroundings and portray them in a realistic way. I mean, is there any other reasonable explanation? Anyways, back to the journey for now. Finding more recent sacrifices here and there, but I come across a phone. Now I did in fact sacrifice an old phone of mine, but when I turn it over I am met with a picture of myself. So something has been watching me and has taken pictures of me and purposely wanted me to find the phone. I start going through the images, distracted by the fact of how eerie this has now become, and I get blindsided by someone. Or something with a bat. Chapter 3. I'm awake. I've woken up in what seems to be a house, and facing me is the being that knocked me out. It takes out a thing from my bag, curious as to what it is. I don't comply. This frustrates it. It picks me up and throws me to the ground and proceeds to beat on me with the bat, but I can feel something metal in the distance with my hand. I catch it off guard and swing back with the metal rod I managed to pick up. This is my escape. I run out of the house as quick as possible. To my surprise, it doesn't follow me. At this point, I'm running and running. I'm exhausted and pass out somewhere in the infinite grassland. Just my luck, I am abducted again, but this time, when I wake up, nobody is there. I look around for a second or two and see someone walking towards me. It's myself. I instantly feel calm. They direct me to come with them, so I do. They lead me to the original shed, wave, and lock me in. This was it. This was the right thing to do. I knew the next time I opened the shed door, I would be out, free of the void. It was true. I was home. I escaped. Now let's go over some things. Remember when I said pay attention to the first time I got locked in the shed? It was foreshadowing. It was myself trying to get me out of the void to save me from the dangers of it. And the second me that locked me in with myself in the shed wasn't me at all. It was the thing that originally kidnapped me in a disguise. Unfortunately, those are pretty much the only deeper meaning points to the storyline. Now let me explain why I ended it. First of all, everything must come to an end. Secondly, I am moving in about a week, which means the surrounding scenery, such as the tree, the sheds, and the house, would not match up to the previous scenes and videos. Ending the series would also grant me freedom of more creative content and not having to wait until night to post. So this is it. I am the Void Ritual. I created the Void Ritual series, and I hope you enjoyed it.